Yo, what's happening, Raider Nation? It's your boy Soto here. You know what it is. Raiders versus the world, talking about the team that the world loves to hate, your Las Vegas Raiders. All right. There's a lot of draft stories going on right now, right? A lot of quote unquote reports happening and insider news, and this guy knows this and this guy knows that. Just a lot of fluff. There's a lot of stories floating around. I like to focus on the ones that have some logical sense to them, right? I'm not going to report on everything. I'm not going to make a video on every little story that's out there because most of the time this is all BS anyway. Guys are going to tell what they want to do. They're not going to spend millions of dollars, literally, to get a draft board together just to leak out the information to someone else. And the executives and, even the staff members and interns who work on getting this draft board together for teams want to move up in the league. So they're not going to be the guy that's going to be a rat and get caught kind of leaking information. So a lot of this stuff is really buttoned up tight for all 32 teams. So you take these reports with a grain of salt. But the interesting ones we will talk about, and that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we do, want to make sure everyone please to like, comment, and subscribe to this video. It's a great way to support this channel. It's absolutely free to do. And it's the bare minimum you can do to support this channel besides doing absolutely nothing and just watching the video, which, of course, I always do appreciate. All right, let's get to it. Okay, so it all depends on your perspective, right? What do the Raiders need to focus on? It depends on your viewpoint, your perspective, and how you value certain positions. There's one thing that you cannot argue. You cannot argue that there are 5 big positions that are the most coveted in the NFL. How do we know this? Well, we know this because they're the top 5 paid positions per average per year in the league. And the owners and everyone, they're going to talk with their money, right? So this tells you that these 5 positions are the most important positions as seen by the executives, the owners, the GMs, all these people across the league. It's quarterback, offensive tackle, edge rusher, wide receiver, and corner. Those are the top 5 paid positions per average per year in the NFL. So you would think that if you're a team that's drafting up high, you're probably not solid in any one of these positions, or maybe not all of them. So it makes sense to target one of these positions with a really high pick. Again, it goes to your perspective. Knowing what we know of John Spytek, knowing what we know of Pete Carroll, what do they covet the most? What I feel that these two guys as a hybrid together, what they're going to covet the most is going to be offensive and defensive line and corner secondary. Just so happens that area of need, for all 3 of those positions. Okay. There's a report out there that it was really interesting. I started to read and I was like, okay, normally I just kind of, move past these things, but it made a lot of sense. There's a corner out there that is pretty locked in as far as the attributes, the size, the play style for a Pete Carroll and for a Patrick Graham defense. But it may be a little bit rich taking them at 6. Well, that's where a former Raider comes into play. If you haven't heard, our old buddy Derek Carr has waited this long to have surgery on his throwing shoulder. I find it hard to believe that his shoulder just got messed up and he's just deciding, well, you know what? I just hurt my shoulder. I should have surgery. This shoulder's been hurt for quite some time. I don't know why he waited this long. That's the Saints' problem. That's not our headache anymore. If Derek Carr indeed decides to go through with this surgery, he is done for the entire season. Well, the Saints were probably moving on from Derek Carr after this year. Anyway, how does that work and how does that affect the Raiders? Well, I'll tell you, because at number 9, they may be a little bit too far out in the draft order to get a quarterback that they want. So what do the Saints do? I don't know if you saw my video that the Raiders were the jump in spot for one of these quarterbacks because the Jets, although they don't have an immediate need with Justin Fields in the fold at quarterback, they're probably the team that has the most need at quarterback after us, the closest one. Well, what do the Saints have to do? Well, they have to jump the Jets to get the quarterback that they want, presumably, and that would be at number 6 to us. So maybe the Raiders aren't comfortable picking the corner that they're looking at 6, but maybe they'll pick him at 9. And that corner is Jahdae Barron from the University of Texas. Okay, what do we know about Jade Barron? Jade Barron is super athletic. He's a dog out there. He's the type of player with the mentality and just the mindset that Pete Carroll loves. He's out there to compete. He goes hard every snap. He does everything at a super high level. He's athletic. He may be a little bit smaller, a little bit shorter in the arms than a typical Pete Carroll corner, but everything else is right there. Remember what Bill Parcells said, right? If he's not this tall, if he doesn't jump this high, if his arms aren't this long, he better walk on water. Well, I wouldn't say that Jahdae Barron walks on water, but I mean, he's pretty damn close. So let's take a look at a couple of things here. If indeed there's a trade back scenario, right, where the Raiders do trade back and go into the number 9 slot, they're going to pick up a couple of more picks, probably like a third and maybe a third next season or something like that, which is fine. I mean, third round pick isn't to sneeze at, but you're only going back 3 spots, and you're still going to get the guy that you want anyway, presumably. So that's not an issue, okay? There is a huge need at cornerback, but with the guys that the Raiders have right now, like a DeCam Richardson, like a Sam Webb, like a Eric Stokes, like a Jacorian Bennett, the Lonnie Johnsons, and the Isaiah Pola-Maus, and a Jeremy Chins who can cover the slot. I don't know that you want to really give that assignment to those guys, full time. That's where Jahdae Barron comes into play. He played all over the place at Texas. He was outside. He played in the slot. He even played some safety. When I tell you versatility is something that Patrick Graham needs in his secondary, I don't know that we've had as versatile a secondary as we have right this second with the likes of Chin and Isaiah Pola-Maus, and in this scenario, Jahdae Barron, who can really float back and forth. There's also a Lonnie Johnson who can go back and forth as well and really make a lot of interesting looks. Also, Jahdae Barron is an excellent blitzer. He got great timing. He's got a great football feel. We all know that Patrick Graham asks a lot of the secondary. It is mostly because it's like multi-scheme role. Like he's very scheme dependent on the opponent that he's facing. That's what's really difficult to kind of key in on the things that the secondary and the defense are going to do, because it really changes for what the offense is going to do. So you can try. I mean, I guess you can try to scout them, but you're not going to get the same looks from the secondary one game to the next. So just to give you a little bit of an idea here, okay, in 2024, Jahdae Barron logged 900 plus snaps, a little over 900 snaps, okay? And it was nearly even split between the slot and the boundary corner. So he played just as well and just as much on the inside as he did on the outside. Left side, right side, mix and match, go back in deep coverage and go up and tight. The dude knows what he's doing. Think of like Devin Witherspoon in Seattle, a really strong nickel corner who can also play the outside when needed. That's what Pete Carroll really liked about him when he got to Seattle. That's a type of tool that Jahdae Barron can be for this defense, for Pete Carroll and for Patrick Graham. One of the things that you take a look at with Jahdae Barron is his instincts. This guy's super instinctual. He has a great view and a great knowledge of route concepts. He had 5 picks last season alone at Texas. This dude is a ball hawk, man. And that's one thing that Pete Carroll defenses need to be able to do, is to turn the ball over, give the offense short fields. He's a little bit more conservative normally. Maybe Chip Kelly didn't change that, but normally Pete Carroll teams are a little bit more conservative offensively because the defense is so good and they're so good at creating turnovers. Jahdae Barron is definitely going to fit in as a very big puzzle piece to that, should he be drafted by the Raiders. Now, it's not all hunky-dory for Jahdae Barron, okay? Like I said earlier, his arms are a little bit shorter, okay? He's got sub 30-inch arms. They're like 29 and like 5/8, or just like 29, a little over 29 and a half. It's not optimal, okay? He's got average long speed, but he's really quick and he's really good at changing direction. And again, he's very instinctual, so he knows ahead of time what things are going to unfold in front of him. Right now, he's a little bit better in zone than he is in man, but I can see with this coaching, him getting a little bit better at both to become a really solid corner for this defense. Again, is it going to happen? I don't know. Is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. Logically, it makes sense. Jahdae Barron is one of the better players in this draft overall. You trade back a couple of spots, you get a premium player at a premium position, right, who can fit the need of the team, also plays the style that the head coach and the defensive coordinator are looking for. A lot of good fits here. A lot of check marks being checked here with this move. You get a guy still at the top of the round that you're looking for. You get some more picks to bolster your team a little later on in this year's draft and next year's draft as well. Plus, you get a premium player at a premium position. All good things with Jahdae Barron coming to the Raiders. All right, guys, that's my time for today. Let me know what you think of the video, man. Let me know what you think of the scenario. Trading back 3 spots, allowing the Saints to come up and get their quarterback that they want while still allowing us to get a premium player at a premium position. Let me know what the fit is for you guys, how you like it. If you don't like it, give me some other suggestions in the comments below. And make sure everyone please to like, comment, and subscribe to this video. It's a great way to support the channel. Again, it's absolutely free, and it's the bare minimum you can do to help support the channel besides doing absolutely nothing and just watching the video, which, of course, I do appreciate. All right, guys, that's my time, everybody. Until next time, peace. Hey, Raider Nation, thanks for watching. There's plenty more where that came from. Go ahead and smash that like button, drop a comment, make sure to subscribe, and share to all your socials. It's the bare minimum you can do without doing absolutely nothing.